Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah, Koholoyim La, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Kahakodash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say Thawada to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yahchanan Nawach, just coming at you with another quick lesson and praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. I wanted to touch on this article with Bad Baby. She's blackfishing, right? So this is what they're saying. She's blackfishing because she got this particular look right here. You know, the damn hair, them eyelashes and shit. You know, so-called nigga woman is mad because she's looking like this as if she's taking their look. This is not your look. Being a damn SLUT or HOE is not your lifestyle, man. You know, this you get your lifestyle from the so-called white woman. She's originally the one that's been into this lifestyle, and you've taken on the mannerisms and customs of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, his race. And that's what the Lord told us not to do in the scriptures. He told us to not be like these other nations. But let me and I'm just focusing on the fact that they're mad about her looking this way. Like, bitch, you fighting over this look? Anyway. Struggle rapper Bad Baby is once again being accused of blackfishing. Culture vulture Danielle Brigali, aka the Cash Me Out side girl, is out here looking absolutely crazy once again. For those who need a refresher on the term blackfishing, it's when a melanin deficient person uses hair. This is not your hair, bitch. You know, makeup. But you shouldn't even have all that damn makeup on and clothing to look like a black or racially ambiguous person, and she is once again being hit with those allegations. And there's a scripture that comes to mind. Let me grab let me see. The one, let me see if I can find it real quick, Salakia. Hey, Khan, 1 Timothy chapter 2. Let me go into it. Let me see if I need to get women instructed, right? So that's what it's entitled. Chapter 2, verse 9. 1 Timothy 2 and 9. I'm going to read it in the... Oh, no, both of them are KJV. How did that happen? Because I could have got it in the NLT. Let me see something. Salakia, bear with me. Let's do that real quick because I want to get an NLT. Okay, so verse 9. Women instructed. 1 Timothy 2 and 9 in the New Living Translation. And I want women to be modest in their appearance. They should wear decent and appropriate clothing and not draw attention to themselves by the way they fix their hair or by wearing gold or pearls or expensive clothes. For women who claim to be devoted to God should make themselves attractive by the good things they do. See? So it's not saying, you know, you women go unkept, you know, you can do your hair and, you know, because really, you know, Eve is far better looking when she's natural. All this shit right here, these goddamn rainbow colored hairstyles and, you know, these fucking eyelashes, these damn nails, and I was thinking that this chick right here had the OnlyFans, that she had hit it big, you know, and she had gotten filthy rich from OnlyFans. She probably done blew through that money, because who the fuck is going to strip clubs now? I see some strippers in here, though, wherever they, this could be a party somewhere, you know, because I don't know if strip club, I ain't seen a damn, I guess they might be still open. That ain't my thing anyway, so I wouldn't know. But I don't pass any anymore like how I used to. You know, used to see them, you know. But anyway, I mean, maybe, who knows? Maybe that's still a business. Because I know during COVID-19, COVID-19 killed all that shit. You couldn't be 6 feet away from that bitch trying to stuff some money in her drawers. You know, with that 6 feet and that mask shit. Okay, but it says... Social media was all over her comments on one of her videos she shared on Instagram and TikTok, featuring her with jet black curly hair, seductively dancing while showing off her surgically enhanced curves and goods. Well, yeah, I don't even know, you know, like you women going out getting all these damn surgeries. It's just this place is just through, is what it is. This is the great whore, and the women here are overall, it's just You can't find a wife here, man. That's a damn shame when you can't find a wife. Esau has totally destroyed family life. Straight up. That's crazy, man. You need family to actually survive as a people, just as a race, so to speak. This man has completely destroyed that. That's how we know that he's the fucking devil that the Bible speaks of, man. You signing all these goddamn executive orders for shit that don't matter. But the shit that matters, you're not signing no executive orders for. You know? As much as they may hate it, come on, bro. Anyway. It says, somebody says, that's not bad, baby. The baby. One comment read. Another commenter asks, wait, is this the catch me outside girl? Another commenter said, I genuinely can't tell that this is a white girl and I'm white. Well, there is no such thing as white people or black people, because you can clearly see she's not white. Her little outfit is white, or maybe silver, or her strings on there is white. But you can clearly see she's not that color. There's no such thing as white people. That's a social construct that was made up by the so-called white man. But others were also happy to see she was doing well after dealing with a form of blood cancer or some shit. Yeah, anyway, all that good stuff. So, but what I wanted to point out, this is not your culture. This is not your style, Eve. The so-called white woman, and I went into this because it reminded me of the old westerns I used to watch with my grandfather. Now, this right here is, they have this one in color. But this is this lady named Kitty that used to play on, Miss Kitty, that used to play on Gunsmoke back in the days. The one of them westerns. But when you go into these westerns and you look at these older westerns, and see, they were the ones, because this is going way back in the days. Way back. They've been doing this. Well before you Eves was able to, afford these skimpy ass outfits that you have on today. Now let me see what her real name is. She played Miss Kitty on Gunsmoke. But she was a nice looking lady. But if you ever watch Gunsmoke, the westerns, which it still comes on, what you'll see is this is this was the love of her life. He was the sheriff, Matt Dillon, Salakia. And you can see her right here in the bar, right? She ran the hoes upstairs. She was like the mistress. She's with the sheriff, right? In the show. But it wasn't illegal for them to be hoes. And the hoes was upstairs. Matter of fact, let's see if we can get it. Let's see. Let's say, I'm just gonna put in, did she have a brothel upstairs? Let's see how it words it. Did she have a brothel upstairs? Them dudes is in the bottom getting drunk. It was the saloon. I've seen plenty of westerns like this, and this was the original whores, was the so-called white woman in the West, man. I mean, and it's an old profession anyway. It's been like that since the beginning. They say prostitution is the oldest profession. I'm just gonna put in, did she have a brothel upstairs? But this is who you so-called black women you inspire to be. You throw that blonde ass wig on, you throw them eyelashes on, and you get that them tinkling of the feet. That's not that's not yours, man. That was never you. You learned that from your enemy. Your enemy turned you into, now when you look at like when you look at, say, like a movie like what's that with Leonardo and DiCaprio and Django with my man's what's his name? Damn, slipping my tongue. There's so much shit going on in my mind right now. But anyway, in that particular movie, Django, when they had that fight scene and they had the two Jakes on the ground fighting to the death, you seen the nigga woman, she was in the back, she was playing that whole role then. But that was the only way that they could, and that was to appeal to the so-called white man. Because that's what she was there for. And she was, that's, if you look at that scene, she wasn't trying to deal with no nigga. She was there to be the whore for the so-called white man. And they learned that style of living. Yeah, and basically, you know what I'm saying? The women just, Esau was coming in taking the box anyway. But I forgot, it was something else that they had. It was lighter skinned versions of Eves back in the day, so-called black women. They were used as more pleasurable or like play toys for the so-called white men that would come into town, because they wanted some of that black meat, but they kind of used the more light-skinned ones, or the red bones, kind of almost about the same color as this chick they talking about. They used the little red bones and put them in them little skimpy ass clothes, and them so-called white men will go crazy over them, man. So, but let's put this in. Let's see, did she have a brothel upstairs? This was a regular thing. Yep. See, it says yes. In the original Gunsmoke radio series, Miss Kitty Russell was explicitly a madam who ran a brothel. However, when the franchise transitioned to network television in 1955, CBS executives toned down her occupation to comply with strict 1950s broadcast censorship and FCC standards. See, they didn't want you to see, that. But still, that was still, when you look at the Gunsmoke, that was still what it was. Because all you seen was, the women, around the men in the bar. And you see, the occasional pay. He throw down, slam down a little silver dollar on the table, and he walk upstairs with her ass with his bottle under his arm. You know what I'm saying? He had that whiskey. See? I didn't know that this was actually a radio show, though. It says explicit role. In audio version series, creator Norman MacDonald and actor James Arnaz, Marshall Matt Dillon, confirmed that Miss Kitty was a madam running a borderline illegal bordello. And again, like I said, this was his woman. The sheriff, this was the sheriff's woman in the movie, in the series. It says even on the radio, writers use double entendres and subtle context clues to imply her profession. Yeah, leading Time magazine to famously note in 1953 that Kitty was obviously not selling chocolate bars. Nah, man. You look at this shit, because them women were pretty. They had some badass bitches in Gunsmoke. Them was your baddies of that time, Let me see. Let me see. What are the actresses? Let me see. What other actresses? I want to see if they're gonna show any of these other women. It says because television censors did not allow the show to openly call the Long Branch Saloon a brothel, the other actresses were officially credited as saloon girls, hostesses, or waitresses. See that? And you still got that same thing when you go to like a place like Hooters today. I don't know if they still open, so I know a lot of them closed during COVID-19 too, but them scantily dressed chicks with them, with their asses out and them orange shorts and them big ass titties. Come on, bro. This is Esau's. This is his lifestyle. This is his way of living. It's not you so-called black women, man. You're Israelite women. You're to be modest. Like the scripture says, man. Over Gunsmoke's massive 20-year television run, dozens of actresses and background extras filled these roles alongside Miss Kitty. Several notable actresses stood out as the regular or reoccurring women of the Long Branch. See? I want to get some photos, though. Let me just put in pictures of these women. You just see, because I had never seen no black women on there. She, I don't know. I think she was like the mama. I think she was like the mother, this lady in the green. Anyway, man, you see what it is. But this was like, these were like the women that were in there. This was, their little scantily dressed way of dressing back then, you know. Yeah, she was a whore. She was the top whore on the show. But they, like I said, they played it classy. They played it as if it was classy though, because I remember watching this shit. I used to love Gunsmoke shit. Every now and then I'll still watch that shit because my grandfather was into it. You know, a bunch of westerns. I used to watch a lot of westerns when I was growing up, but I do remember, you know, the women being, you know, me being being younger, I didn't understand kind of like that, but it didn't take too much common sense to realize that no, these women, you know, these were some damn whores, man. I put that in. Let me see what happened. Let me put in Amanda Blake. That was her name. Amanda Blake. Let me see. Let's put in some images of Amanda Blake. See, this was her. And she was considered to be that baddie back then. As a matter of fact, when you look at her, let's get Bad Baby again. When you look at her, ain't really too much of a difference. And you know, you had your Marilyn Monroes of the time, you know, because Esau always had some little badass white chicks. See her? Look. What would be really the difference other than, you know, things done changed just a little bit with the outfits. They done got a lot more crazy with the outfits, but you know what I'm saying? You know, this was her part. I'm not saying this was her real life hookup, but that's how she got them parts. Amanda Blake. I ain't mean to just throw her in here. I wanted to pull up a few more of these other women. But see, this wasn't her love interest in the movie. I mean, in the series of Matt Dillon. You had the Doc right here. You had Festus. I remember all the characters and shit. But this was your main crew right here. That was your main crew overall that you would see all the time on the show. But when they would be in the saloon, that's what I want to get a picture of the saloon, because you can see it was just hoes around. Oh, man. Let me see. Let's put in Gunsmoke hostess. They probably gonna show her though. I'm just using this though to show that, hey, look, no, when it comes to that kind of lifestyle, that's Esau, man. Don't you so-called black women ever believe that this has ever been your lifestyle. This is not you. Cause the matter of fact, let me get another scripture real quick. I'm gonna put this in. Let me see. I think, was she on there? Yeah, I do remember her, I think. Because she was alright looking when she was younger. She, you know, they don't age well. Had to have been more of them. I know it was more of them. Anyway, you get the point. But let me try and find this script when we end out. I just wanted to point that out. Like, man, stop running in behind Esau and his way of life. Because the Lord told us, don't take on the customs of these other nations, man. That shit has always gotten us into trouble. Always. Let's see if this how it's worded. Probably spelling it wrong. Here we go right here. Deuteronomy 23:17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel, man. That's a law. Let me see how it reads in the NLT. No Israelite, whether man or woman, may become a temple prostitute. And that was big back then, you know, being a temple prostitute. And it's really, you know, the body is the temple. You're basically, you know, still what you just, our people as a whole, as just Israel as a nation, you know, we're an adulterous nation because we committed spiritual adultery against the Father, man. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We committed that spiritual adultery. We're really a representation of a hoe, basically. Straight up. The way that, I mean, it just is what it is. It says, okay, so all right. No Israelite, whether man or woman, may become a temple prostitute. But in the KJV, it just simply says, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. And so I don't know why they phrased it like that in the NLT. But anyway, you get the point. There shall be no whores, man. But look at our women. Look at our women, man. Our men literally go to the altar in the name of an idol, white Jesus, and get married in the name of that white Jesus, or set a vow, or make a vow before this idol to basically be faithful to a woman that's a whore. A lot of the times it'll be a man, he's marrying a woman with kids by another man, sometimes multiple men. That's crazy work, bro. That is not our life, man. The Lord, I'll just get this one more. Let's get one more in Micah chapter 2 and verse 10. And it reads, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, and shall destroy you, even with the sore destruction. And our people are polluted and sorely destroyed in Esau's kingdom. Because Esau pushes nothing but wickedness and sexuality, man. Sexual immorality. He doesn't push anything righteous. He's moving on your children right now. Every second of the day, he's making moves to bring your children in the cycle of being a whore and continue that cycle. The way he sexualizes everything. Look at how the little girls dress these days. You got and Eve and them, they dress them like that. Like, why the fuck would you buy your 7-year-old or your 8-year-old this particular kind of outfit instead of putting her in a little cute sundress, or a little cute, teaching her how to, dress modestly? No, Eve not with that. Eve is completely through in Esau's kingdom, man. So when I seen this and I'm thinking like, okay, so this is what y'all fighting over. Y'all fighting over this bitch right here. You claiming that she done took your look. This the look that you're claiming to be yours. Is fucking crazy work, bro. Crazy ass work, man. But anyway, hey, I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Hey, it's high time to awake out of sleep and to repent to the Father Yahweh in the name of his son Yahushua, because the Lord is coming to get rid of all this bullshit. Our people are going to go back into order. These other nations are going to go into order. But our people are going to go back into the order that the Lord originally set, man. Because he's coming to destroy this place. This place is done. You think you're gonna get some wife shit out of this bitch right here, or any of these hoes in the background? Yeah, the bodies is dope. You know what I'm saying? Their faces is dope. They look good. But they're gonna put you through pure goddamn hell. You're not getting nothing out of this. Nothing out of this but some pleasure for a hot sec. And that pleasure is going to come with some turmoil. This is what, men don't want to marry nothing like this no more. Men not dealing with these women for this very reason. And you got chicks out here, they not even into the club like this, but they still just like this at their house. You see them at Walmart. The attitude, it's the atmosphere of the attitude that they have, man. You're not getting nothing good out of this, man. You might as well, tread lightly, man. Be careful, man, when it comes straight down to it, man. So I'm going to end out there. I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Allah and a Baba Ball.